All right, good evening, everyone. I am Gary Witherspoon, Public Outreach Deputy Director for the Purple Line. On behalf of Governor Westmore, Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld, and Maryland Transit Administration Administrator Holly Arnold, welcome to the 11th Community Advisory Team meeting for the College Park area. This meeting is being recorded, so you'll be able to find it later on our website, purplelinemd.com, purplelinemd.com, along with responses to questions we will answer tonight, and those we could either not answer or could not get to. As a courtesy, we are continuing to host these meetings online, and we're very happy with the response we've received since moving these meetings to virtual. Please mute your microphones and keep your camera off until after the presentation. Also, please mute your telephones. For those who would like a live translation, the Teams format can translate this evening's comments into a number of languages, including Spanish, Arabic, Chinese, French, and many others. Instructions for seeing live translations are being placed in the chat area of this meeting. Our translator, Purple Line Prince George's County Liaison, Genesis Baez, will now relay that information in Spanish. Genesis.
Para aquellos que desean una traducción en vivo, el formato de Teams puede traducir los comentarios de esta tarde a varios idiomas, incluyendo español, árabe, chino, francés y muchos otros. Las instrucciones para ver las traducciones en vivo se están colocando en el área de chat de esta reunión.
Gracias. Tonight, we'll update you on the project status. We'll take a look at the project timeline. We'll provide a construction update, during which we'll discuss work we've completed, and we'll show you some progress photos, tell you about upcoming work, talk about community engagement, and we'll take questions, first from CAT members and then everyone else. Please hold all questions until after the presentation, and we ask that you limit your questions or comments to a minute. Tonight, we are joined by MTA Project Director Ray Biggs II, Doran Basso, CEO of the concessionaire Purple Line Transit Partners, Hugo Fonterage, Project Executive for Maryland Transit Solutions, the project's builder, Javier Devesa, Construction Segment Lead for MTS, and Carla Julian, the MTS Stakeholder Manager. Tonight, we'll cover the segment of the Purple Line that includes the following stations: Adelphi Road, UMGC UMD, Campus Drive UMD, Baltimore Avenue UMD, College Park UMD, Riverdale Park North UMD. We're excited to share that we've created new renderings we're sharing for the first time during this meeting. We've completed a series of renderings that will give the public a true depiction of how the station areas will look. The project will enhance pedestrian safety around each station with ADA-compliant crosswalks and upgraded signals to include pedestrian countdowns to safely cross the roadway. The first rendering features the Baltimore Avenue UMD station at Rossborough Lane and Route 1. This station features side platforms, meaning there is a separate platform for eastbound and westbound trains, with the trains on the outside lanes and vehicular traffic in the center lanes. The next rendering highlights our College Park UMD station. From this station, which will be at a major regional hub, riders will be able to easily access the bus loop, which is to the left of the rendering, or the College Park Metro station pictured on the right. This next rendering is of the Riverdale Park North UMD station. It illustrates what this station will look like. It's adjacent to River Road near Hague Drive. If you've recently been to this area, you'll know the station canopies pictured have been installed on the station platforms. Now I'm going to turn the meeting over to Project Director Ray Biggs II. And again, please stay muted and hold all questions until after the presentation.
Thank you so much, Gary. And good evening, everyone. We are excited to share with you an update of all the progress we have made over the last 6 months. Gary just showed some renderings of one of the stations that you will see in this progress update video that we will share with you right now. I am sitting here at one of the many businesses that will benefit from the Purple Line, directly across the street from the new Riverdale North UMD station. This will be the first complete station. As we near the end of 2023, the nearly 1,000 workers building the Purple Line is making measurable progress along the alignment. Another significant improvement is the new stormwater management system. This includes miles of new pipes ranging from 12 inches to over 72 inches in diameter. More than 53% of this new pipework is now complete. Along with concrete pipes, our teams have installed over 20,000 square feet of underground sand filters, retention ponds, and planter boxes, all important parts of the new stormwater drainage system. These critical environmental upgrades may not be visible above ground, but must be completed before tracks are added. In Bethesda, work connecting the elevator to Metro's Red Line has reached the bottom of the shaft, and teams have started excavating horizontally to create the cavern. The Elm Street pedestrian path across the alignment, as well as another half a dozen bridges and underpasses, will serve the new and improved Capitol Crescent Trail. Concrete placement of the historic Talbot Avenue Bridge occurred in early 2023, along with necessary road improvements, making it possible to open the road this year. Concrete for the elevated Silver Spring Station and the elevated Kenilworth Riverdale Station are complete, and crews are hard at work on the utilities and other advanced station elements. And speaking of stations, more than half of Purple Line stations are currently under construction, with structural canopies installed at Riverdale Park North UMD and Glen Ridge. Canopies provide an exciting glimpse of how Purple Line stations will look. During the summer break at the University of Maryland, crews accomplished a tremendous amount of work, completing drainage, roads, and tracks. Over 1,500 linear feet of track is now in place on campus as part of the 5 future stations servicing the University of Maryland. Along Veterans Parkway, our Glen Ridge Operation and Maintenance Facility is fully operational, with yard utilities and specialty track installation underway. Purple Line light rail vehicles are scheduled for delivery here in early 2024. Thanks for watching our progress update video for the Purple Line. You can get key information and updates at purplelinemd.com. All right, we have been busy over the last 6 months since we last spoke with you. And the project, as mentioned in the video, we are more than 58% complete. A lot of that is due to working in collaboration with the University of Maryland over the summer to get that shut down. As you saw in the video, we are going right down the center of campus, down Campus Drive, and we have accomplished a lot there. We have over 60 active construction sites with over 1,100 workers. And we go to the next slide. And that is a that contributes to us completing 98% of the utility relocations across the alignment, as we also highlighted in the video. Moving to the next slide. In addition, we have installed more than half of the overhead catenary pole foundations along the alignment, and that is the foundation of helping to provide the power that will ultimately serve the Purple Line. And from that power, we've installed 3 of the traction power substations, which provides the electricity over to the catenary lines to help power the Purple Line. And then also, as mentioned, over at Riverdale Park North UMD station, that is where we installed our first station canopy. So you can see exactly what a station will look like in real life. No more just renderings. You can actually see the stations being built. And on the next slide, we talk about how many light rails we have completed. We have 26 of those, which are up in Elmira, ready for delivery, and we will start receiving delivery of those in early next year. And as mentioned, all of the stations are beginning construction, with 11 of them beginning construction of the 21 stations. And tonight we'll talk about all of the UMD stations and highlight what is happening across the alignment. With that, I will turn it over to Doran Basso, who will talk about the project timeline and give us an update of where we are with the schedule.
Thanks, Ray. So with all that progress now behind us, on the next slide, we'll look forward to where we're going. This summer, the project went before the Maryland Board of Public Works and gained approval to extend the contractual timeline for passenger service to spring 2027, as you can see there in the chart. And this change reflects the ongoing utility relocation activities, completing construction in a dense urban environment, and some of the unique challenges that the Purple Line project has faced. So let's walk through the project timeline. You'll see that in early 2024, light rail vehicles that Ray just showed us will arrive at our Glen Ridge Operation and Maintenance Facility in Prince George's County. In the summer of 2025, we're scheduled to complete the test track, followed by system-wide testing to begin later that winter. And our teams are all working hard towards the start of passenger service, scheduled in spring 2027, as I mentioned. So for more details on what's right in front of us in this area, let's talk to Javier.
Thank you, Doran, and thank you everyone for attending this meeting. So these last months, and especially this summer, there's been a lot of activities. Work has been very dynamic and challenging at the same time. And visually, we can see a lot of progress inside the University of Maryland. There was a very good I'm sorry, I think I was muted. Let me start from the very beginning. Sorry, guys. Thank you everyone for attending. These past months, it's been very challenging and a lot of activities completed at the same time. We had very good collaboration between University of Maryland and MTS that made possible what we call the summer shutdown. Summer shutdown was basically, as the name stands for, shutting down Campus Drive inside the core of University of Maryland. That allow us to push and advance a lot of activities inside the phase 1. So basically, inside UMD, we have phase 1, which is building everything on the north side of the Campus Drive, and then phase 2, which is building the south side. So summer shutdown was basically pulling up all the resources to finalize the track of phase 1 between Union Lane and the new M Circle, which is pretty much 1,500 linear foot. Before that, there was a big effort in order to complete the storm drain and all the utilities before that, as well as all the separate works and all the different layers that go under the track. There was a specific spot that was very challenging, which is the new M Circle, and the areas that are next to the intersection of Campus Drive and Regions. That is actually what you can see here in the picture. Under this location, there's 2 massive underground detention pond systems, which I will explain later what are these for. But basically, these are 2 drainage structures, 6,000 square foot total. So let's put it like as a comparative. These are like 2 tennis courts in the same location. So 1 per underground detention pond. So this makes like a visual similar of what it consists and what is the extension of these underground detention ponds. What is going to be the upcoming work that we have for the University of Maryland? So there's going to be flat works, trying to finish everything for the phase 1, and so we can be able to fully transition to phase 2. And we're going to continue moving west from Union Lane in order to complete everything for the trucks and the planter boxes and the next activities. All right, so let's go from west to east. First section is the Presidential Drive and Campus Drive intersection. And that location, we've been working with drainage mostly, which is what you can see in the corner next to the fence of the picture. There was all the stone drain as well completed in the Presidential Drive, as well as the OCS. So this area is one of the widest areas in terms of space, which allow us to pull out all the resources for the OCS, which is basically like a huge crane creating all the, taking all the space for it. So we could have like a pretty good production in that area, which allow us to complete all the OCS in the phase 1. The upcoming work that is going to take within the next months, we're actually installing the planter boxes, which are some drainage systems all along the Presidential Drive. Next, we're going to be installing the conduits and get everything ready for the truck works. Moving next to the coal area, that is what you can see here in this picture. The main events of summer was the start and completion of the north platform of the future Campus Center station. So what you can see here is the north platform with all the, at this time, the backfill and the walls being built in this area. We completed the north platform last week. So actually everything has been completed except for the canopy. Canopy is going to be built at the same time as the south platform, which will start in the phase 2 after we complete phase 1. But everything was completed in this north platform on the Campus Center station. Next to this station, we had Union Lane, which was an intersection that was also completed this summer, both track 1 and track 2. There was a very good collaboration again by UMD, which allowed us to close this intersection, deterring all the vehicles a little bit to the south. So that was possible in order to have all this intersection completed. Otherwise, it will have to be done in 2 different phases. So that was a very good, very big progress from this summer. Upcoming work, pretty much the same, trying to get to the west, completing all the track works. We have already completed the planter boxes that was in this area in front of the coal building. You cannot see that in the picture, but it's right in front of the building. And we will be moving forward in the upcoming weeks and starting track works actually in November. So these underground detention ponds that I was mentioning before, as you can see here in the picture, they are basically 2 massive stone drain systems that collects all the water coming upstream in Campus Drive. So Campus Drive has like imagine like a channel that flows all the water directly into the low point. So this low point is the M circle that requires these massive structures to collect all the water, especially in some possible big rain events that actually like puts a lot of water into this area. So they are 2 big structures, one in the north and another one in the south. of the M circle. They're both connected, but what we call flow splitter. And actually it drains the water all again going south. So the comparison of what is an underground detention pond, I always compare it to a tennis court, which is more or less like 3,000 square foot. So imagine two of them next to each other into this new M circle. That means excavating everything at once, installing all the filter fabric, installing all the different cells. That is what you can see in the picture of the right side. They are very big and very heavy. So that made a lot of coordination between all the subcontractors and between the University of Maryland. Moving east, the area of Roxborough Lane. We currently have this area closed from Diamondback and all the way up to the Campus Drive and Roxborough intersection. OCS, they were completed, and a storm drain has been recently completed into this area. So we are currently working with the multi-duct and the parallel feeder, which are the conduits that go underground. And our intention is that by the end of this year, we will start the track works, both track 1 and 2, that will allow all the track flow go east. Moving east as well, the water relocation was completed into this section close to the Paint Branch trail. That was a very big achievement because that activated the continuity of the storm drain that needed to be done in this area. So there's still a couple of spots where we need to finish the storm drain, but pretty much can be considered completed. We also started the overhead catenary system foundations, which took from Campus Drive, Roxborough, all the way up to the underpass. So that was one activity that was as well completed. And after we complete the track works that I was explaining before, from Diamondback to Campus Drive, we will continue moving east into this area until we arrive to the underpass. College Park. That's an area that we are putting a lot of attention since we need coordination as well with University of Maryland and WMATA. So all the activities, they need to be very well coordinated so it doesn't affect all the pedestrians coming up from the WMATA station and the ones using the pass loop. So what you can see on the picture is the area that is gonna contain the future College Park station. You can see like a small, well, not as small, is a pretty considerable one, but excavation right on the east side of the picture. That is the location of the future College Park station. We have already completed the excavation, and we already have the subcontractor working on the station itself. So works are going to be ongoing for the next weeks. At the same time, we are coordinating a small pedestrian detour in this area that will allow all pedestrians coming from the WMATA station going to the College Park bus loop, and this will allow us to have all the area available for us in order to build both track 1 and track 2. Before that as well, we need to build 2 MSC walls in this area, but there's going to be ongoing work that will be for the next weeks and the next month. So there's going to be a lot of activity in this location as well. Underpass. We already completed the track 1 of this location, as well as some concrete paving that unified the track 1 and track 2. But this area is going to be still closed for future works, and still there's going to be only one lane in this direction coming in the next 2024. All right, let me just introduce now Carla, our stakeholder manager.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Javi. Thank you, Javi, for managing everything so well. Again, I'd like to say good evening to our members of the public, our stakeholder partners. I see UMD folks on here, our MTA, MDOT leadership, and MTS. I thank you all for helping us be able to serve our members of the public, which is very important as we built this project. So I'd just like to remind everybody, with all of the activity that we have going on tonight and day to day, that we do have a lot of MOT going on, our maintenance of traffic. And as you traverse UMD, especially with all of our students, and however we decide to be on cyclists, pedestrians, and members of the traveling public, we have a lot of things going on out there. So we want you to be safe, first of all. So please pay attention to the signage. Stay off of your cell phones when you're driving. I know it's hard. And pay attention to the plates that we have in the road. We've got a lot of things going on out there, and we're trying to progress this work as quickly as we can so we can turn it back over and give you this light rail project. So please, we want you to be safe. And I'll take the next slide now. Now we're going to talk a little bit about community engagement, which is really important. And I'll take the next slide. Here you can see, which everybody's super excited about, is the new M. Thank you, Courtney, for doing everything that you do to help us get all of this done, and everybody at UMD. Here you can see a couple of our interns that we have specifically selected from UMD to be part of the Maryland Transit Solutions team, and just the overall Purple Line project. We've had a lot of good time with these folks, and some of them are still working part-time on our team. So we appreciate UMD giving them the time off to be on the team. I'll take the next slide. And in partnership with UMD, we have, as a collective Purple Line project, been able to put a little focus on what's going to be cool when we finish building this, which is students and faculty ride free on the 5 UMD stops. So we've kind of highlighted those here, and we've done some graphics and some cool things in partnership with UMD, and put some signage around UMD so people can actually see that as we disturb the day-to-day life. Unfortunately, that's part of construction, right? So we're trying to help people see the future of what's going to come, and we appreciate everybody's partnership to be patient as we work through that construction. So I really want to take a pause on this slide to help everybody understand how you can get in touch with us, because we do understand those impacts, right? So first of all, we have the Purple Line MD website where you can sign up for notifications. And what that will get you is you can just go there, first of all, and take a look at it if you don't want anything coming to your phone or your email. Or you can sign up for real-time notifications. We split those communities into 8 segments, how communities identify themselves. So you get the lane closure notices, night, weekend work, all different types of things. If it's going to be noisy, if we're going to have ongoing work, you can get those notifications that come directly to you from our team. We spend a lot of time doing that, and we want you guys to be aware. You can also email us at outreach@purplelinemd.com. That will get to the construction team. It comes in through the Purple Line MTA team. And we have a lot of folks working on that. So we want to be in touch with you. And then if you are a member of the media, we have a media at purplelinemd.com. So if you have questions, if you want to do an interview, whatever we can help you with, that's going to specifically get you to the folks that can help you out. So please pay attention to this. And then here we have numbers, and we are aware that we have a diverse community that we are communicating with. So we have a Spanish number, and as Gary mentioned earlier in the day, we do a lot of translation. So please reach out to us, and we will make sure that we get in touch with you any way we can. And obviously, we have the social media outlets here below that you can connect with us too. So thank you. And now I will turn this back over to Doran, I think, to give you some more exciting news.
Great. Well, to wrap things up today from the presentation side of things, we're very excited to share with you our Purple Line Beyond the Rails Community Grant Program. We were inspired to create this program by the countless number of groups along the Purple Line corridor who do amazing work every day to improve the lives of local residents. And as long-term members of this community ourselves, the goal of our grant program is to provide funding that can help those groups achieve their goals. So our deadline for the first 6 grants, as you can see there, is November 30th, 2023, and we'll notify awardees soon afterward. Going forward, we'll accept grant applications whenever they come in and plan to issue 6 grants every half year. All the information is at the address shown below there, including a link to fill out a pretty short application. So we are proud to take this step in giving back to the community and helping the Purple Line corridor thrive. So with that, I'll hand it back to Gary.
Thank you, Doran. This concludes our CAP presentation. Before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge our local elected officials or their representatives. I see that we have Vic Weisberg and Wanda Brooks from Prince George's County on the call. Thank you for joining us. We now invite members, CAP members, to ask questions. Please raise your hand using the icon atop your screen, and you will be acknowledged. You also can type questions in the chat section. Again, we ask that you limit questions or comments to 1 minute. If your question is not addressed tonight, don't worry. All questions will be addressed later in a question and response posting on the website. Similar questions will be combined, so you may not see your question posted verbatim. Additionally, we will accept questions for a week until October 19th at outreach@purpleLineMD.com. Now I see that Bong Delasorio has a question. Please unmute yourself and fire away.
Thank you very much for allowing me to ask this question. So I actually am the Director of Transportation Policy for the Department of Disabilities. And my question is, with this particular station at University of Maryland, is that going to be a reason to make the actual train station, the MARC train station, accessible? Because currently, right now, it's not an accessible station.
Well, Bong, I can say that we have heard this concern, and the concern has been raised to the MTA. Unfortunately, it's not a part of the Purple Line project, but the concern has been raised.
Okay, thank you. I was just curious.
Okay, I see that Paul Keene has a question.
Hi there, Gary. I think I spoke with you when you were on campus in the spring, and actually I had the exact same question about accessibility with the MARC platform and the connection to the Purple Line. So I was wondering if you had any updates on that, or if anything has changed. I've gone back and forth with the MTA and gotten basically nowhere.
I do not have an update, but we have raised the issue with the MTA. I do understand that the MTA is receiving federal funding for those types of projects. I don't know if it will impact the College Park station, but as I said, the issue has been raised again to the MTA. Okay, other questions? Please raise your hands.
Maybe I couldn't see my hand.
Go ahead, Joel.
I guess I can go. Well, I have a comment and a question. The comment, I did see some of the progress at the Riverdale Park University, Maryland. It was pretty nice. And I did notice the bus stops are still there on River Road. I don't know if they're gonna still have the buses going to that area. So and on the stations too.
Well, you know, Joel, that's a brand new
Maybe-
bus loop that's been developed as part of the project. So buses will continue to run through the bus loop on River Road.
How about down River Road, not at the station? And on
And
River
all of the
Road,
bus routes will be determined by the various bus operators as the project continues. So we'll learn down the line if routes are going to change, but for now, we can't say that.
okay, and I guess the next question, I guess, won't be answered tonight because it have to wait till the project is completed in 2027. The fair, for the purple line, would that be the same thing for the metro and the bus? I think that's about it. So that's
Ray, do you
all
want to
my
address that?
questions. Thank you.
If you could restate the question, Gary, just to make sure that I answer Joel's question fully for him.
I think he wants to know if the fares will be uniform between the buses and the purple line.
Right. So we're currently looking at the fares across the or the purple line, and so more to come on that in regards to fares. But at this time, we don't have a definitive response on the fares and all of that for the purple line.
All right, thanks for answering my question.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
Joel.
Joel.
Appreciate it.
Other questions, please raise your hands. Please raise your hands. I see that Ralph is on the line. Ralph, please unmute yourself. If you click on your microphone atop your screen,
Ralph, we need you to click your mic off of mute. Ralph. Up at the top right, click your mic off so that you can see it fully. We cannot hear you, Ralph.
you can also type your questions in the chat section.
Hey, Ralph, do you see the red button at the top right? Go to the left a little bit. You'll see the mic. It says press that. It has a line going through it. Yeah, he pressed the leave button. I was trying not to get him to do that.
We'll get there. It'll be
All
okay.
right. Let's give him a chance to come back in, Gary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see a question from Colin. And he asks, are there any differences in the overall timeline of construction on UMD's campuses versus the rest of the full purple line, i.e., attempting to complete earlier to reduce the impact to students, faculty, staff on campus?
Would you like me to take that, Gary?
Please.
So we've already been working on that a little bit. This summer, we collaborated with UMD and had a great partnership to shut down Campus Drive and got a lot of work done. So we are working to finish the work as quickly as possible to minimize the impacts to the students and to the University of Maryland while we are constructing. So we're working on that. I can't give you a definitive timeline on when that will be completed, but we are working to complete things as quick as possible throughout the campus, recognizing that we're right down the center of University of Maryland. So those efforts are already happening, and you saw some of that in the video and what Javier updates that he was giving. We have Raf back, and I think he is
Can you hear me?
unmuted. Yes.
Can you hear me? Great. I hate Microsoft Teams. Anyway, thank you very much for the comments on the university. That was what I was going to ask for starters, was how that work was coming and whether the university is cooperating with you.
Yes, the university has been great partners. Courtney and her team and everyone there have been working great with Javier and MTS and PLTP. And it's been a really good partnership happening all year. So we owe a lot to them, and thanks for just working with us to help get that all done and all the work that you saw through the presentation tonight.
Excellent. Well, it's going to be a great future for the institution when it's done. But they keep asking me when. What are you saying about when tonight?
As far as the completion of the Purple Line, we are working towards 2027 of completing, opening up for revenue service. As far as on UMD's campus, we don't have a definite date, but we are working to try to get that work done as quick as possible. And as mentioned a little bit earlier, that has already been in place of by working with UMD to get that shut down this past summer, help to expedite that work so that we can minimize the impacts to students.
Excellent. It's a big inconvenience to people on the campus, but they don't seem to be complaining about it. I think they appreciate what you guys are doing.
Appreciate that, Ralph. And Colin, I hope that answers your question.
Do we have other questions? Other questions?
I'll try again. I rode the line on my motorcycle last Sunday, and I went all the way to New Carrollton. I was amazed at what's happening at New Carrollton, and you can't get into the station from Veterans Boulevard anymore. Instead, you have to go west on, what is it, River Road? And there's a huge amount of development over there, and I gather that's where the station's going to be.
I can jump on that too. So yes, it's a lot of transit-oriented development happening around the New Carrollton station, and Purple Line is part of that. We were actually over there a couple weeks ago where we helped to talk about the Purple Line, where Julio helped to give a tour with some of the elected officials and individuals to see all the progress that's happening. So yes, we too are excited about what's happening at the New Carrollton, just for public transportation and transit-oriented development, in particular, what's happening in that area. So it's a lot happening.
Right.
Okay, other questions?
All right, I'm going to be annoying. Let's talk about Silver Spring briefly. That is a very important bridge across Colesville Road in downtown Silver Spring. And we went by there today. There was no one working. The concrete deck needs to be finished. Is there a problem over there with getting that part of the line done?
I think unless someone stops me, I'll jump in for that one. No, there is not a problem at Silver Spring. It is another very important transit connection, but also, as you said, kind of an important bridge for our overall construction. Right. There is a station on a part of the bridge adjacent to the parking structure there.
Right.
And that station has a lot of concrete. and we're working on the station. So the concrete will be getting placed across that bridge and across Colesville, and we're actually doing that work at night to minimize disruption to the traveling public, because we can't have, while we're actively doing some operations, we can't be over live traffic. And so we're going to be using nightly lane closures. We are, I believe, now using nightly lane closures on Colesville to do that work. But you will see it progressing in the next several months. There will absolutely be concrete on that deck. So good observation. It's that's definitely the direction we're headed.
Excellent.
Ralph, and I can also talk offline with you if you want to get specific about other areas. Let's touch base. Let's get with Ashley and touch base, and I'll definitely be happy to help you there.
Great.
Okay, well, that concludes our CAP presentation. Again, you can sign up for construction notices at purplelinemd.com. For project questions and comments, contact Public Outreach. Our email address is outreach@purplelinemd.com, or you can call us at 443-451-3706 or 443-451-3705 for Spanish. We staff those hotlines around the clock, so someone will always be available to take your calls. And please follow us on social media. We've got great stuff on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thank you all for joining us. Now back.
Don't leave. Are you going to leave? I thought this was going until 7:30.
Well, if there are no questions, Ralph.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can take care of that.
Yes. Can you keep them specific to this area? This is a College Park meeting.
That's hard. But I gather the connections to Metro at the College Park station are being taken care of. It's hard to get in there, but the connections between the Purple Line and Metro at the College Park station, I gather, are being worked out. In fact, there's part of the station has been built, right? The canopy that covers the platform at the College Park station. I saw a picture of it in your publication, I think.
I believe that was the canopy at the next station, Ralph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
if Javier's on, we could talk about that section, but we have been working right at that College Park Metro station, and where ours will be directly adjacent. So there's some pedestrian detours shifting around as we advance to the next stage. Anything else notable there, Javier?
Correct. So College Park Metro Station, we have completed the excavation, ground grid installation, and we are currently working with the station itself. So the backfill and the walls that are covered by the station. So I think, Ralph, what you saw in the picture probably was the Riverdale one. Not sure, but College Park is still in progress. In the area of College Park, we are, as Doran was mentioning, having some pedestrian detour suites. Hopefully tomorrow after we meet with WMATA, but that's going to allow us to work in the whole area for College Park as well as in the station. So there's going to be an upcoming work in the future days.
Excellent. And the first track that was laid on the system as a whole went under the Mark overpass, right? And I remember that underpass had the first track that you all laid. And now you're doing the second track under there as well. It's great to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are moving forward into this location as well. Right now, we have a lot of resources put into the University of Maryland, but we don't forget these other areas as well, which is part of the whole alignment.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, other questions? All right, hearing none. Here's Ray Biggs II.
I appreciate it, Gary. Thank you, Ralph and Joel and everyone for your questions tonight. We want to make sure that we get the information out to you about what's happening on the Purple Line. So continue to send the questions in. As you can see on your screen here, these are the various different ways to keep in contact or to get your questions answered. But again, thank you for attending tonight, and we look forward to continuing to make progress on the Purple Line and eventually get to revenue service. So thank you for attending again, and have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.